Yes, people, FJTV. I know it's been literally today is 3 weeks on the dot since my last YouTube video. Obviously, a few things I was talking about in that video. I did my YouTube shorts, I think 2 weeks ago. But either way, I know I was long overdue a video. Like I say, man, this past, I mean, shit, 2 years on YouTube alone has been a crazy journey. Hence, obviously, fitness journeys, whatever, whatever. But specifically from like this time last year, maybe a bit earlier, but realistically, all of 2023, all of this year, 2024, same way. I think I've got a rough idea for what I'm going to do the title of this video is going to be. Same way, it's sort of the merging of two video ideas when I'm making the notes, thinking, okay, that one's over there, that one's over here, and then I thought, why don't I just do one video that kind of covers everything I want to talk about. So cool, so you can probably see with the title, may or may not be kind of clickbait, not really, but kind of, you know what I mean. Basically, from Sunday, the 30th of June, we're literally 6 months in on the dot of 2024. So literally halfway, yeah. 6 out of 12, obviously, break that down to 1 out of 2. Half, same thing. I don't know why I felt the need to do that then, but you get what I'm saying. Cool. So we're halfway through the year. So I was initially going to do, just to break the cycle of not making a video, to get out of that habit, like I said, a few things, plenty of things have happened in the last few weeks, obviously, like I said. And as I was touching on then, just with like all of last year and all of this year, so the last 18 months, I should have said, really, all the stuff going on and how, like I said, it's like my vision in my mind is so clear for the path I'm walking. And there's a big difference, as I've said in the past, of knowing the path and walking the path, yeah. Really embodying and standing on my tenets and my principles and what I talk about and practicing what I preach and all of those phrases, yeah, you get what I'm saying. And like I've been doing, and it's cool. And as I said, it's almost like sometimes I feel like I'm playing this almost tug of war with the matrix, where when I do surrender to the divine and just go with the flow, everything manifests the way it's meant to anyway. Nothing could really hurt me. Nothing's ever going to break me anyway, yeah. And like I'm saying, let me go to my notes that I've, blue tacked to the door there. I might show them later in the video and you'll see it literally looks like the scribblings of a madman, but cool. Like I'm saying, the first video idea was, like I said, just basically a sort of update, self-improvement vlog, and then I thought, okay, this can be like, we're 6 months into 2024. And the same, like I said, whether this garners slightly more views, I sort of try and have the mentality for every video that I make that if this is the video someone finds of the channel, let me do my best to articulate myself as best as possible. I know sometimes when I got caffeine in my system, I can talk a bit quickly, especially if I'm like sort of peaking on it. And then, as I always say, when I record the videos in the nature reserve and I'm about to go and train or I'm outside the gym, whatever, I try not to give myself a big, adrenaline spike and then adrenaline dump for training by getting really irate or amped up for a video. But anyway, I know I'm kind of waffling and just get straight to the notes. So I know what I'm going to talk about, yeah. Like I'm saying, but the last few weeks, yeah, as I'm saying, man, when I sometimes feel like I'm trying to swim against the current, playing a tug of war with the matrix, it's like just the negativity, yeah. And then that's where video idea number 2 sort of came from to a degree. Really, it's always in the back of my mind and something I have sort of touched on, but specifically, demons and the idea of demons. And obviously, put it this way, I can sum it all up pretty quickly as I seen the other day on the TV, which I try not to watch, but sometimes, you can't help yourself. You just got to see it for what it is, literally, yeah. And when I'm seeing the film on there, it's like the latest Exorcist film. Obviously, it's just a cash grab. It's all the cliche horror tropes, yeah. Horror. And one thing from my young years, I think I touched on in a video that's still on the channel, saying about being fearless in a horror film. Kind of like the echoes kind of annoy me, but I need my notes, so I'm going to leave the door open. Anyway, sort of like I kind of touched on in that video, but watching it back, I was like, fuck, there was plenty of things that I've thought about, but I didn't write down, and then they leave my brain. But something from a young age, I've always been sort of into like watching horror films, especially before my awakening, and then looking back, I was like, the reason why I was always drawn to those sort of films, and I'm going to finish my point on The Exorcist. I know I've got on a tangent, but I'll bring it full circle like I always do, yeah? But it's like all these horror films, again, horror. I always, again, like I said, over the years, was always like, I want to see like what's supposed to be scary for humans, yeah? And the main ones I found myself actually feeling some feeling of dread, if you like. Obviously, if you watch it in a cinema, it's really loud as well, which adds to it. Especially jump scares, because anything, you know what I mean, you could be doing whatever. That's why when you're driving, sometimes you get road rage because someone pulls out on you. It's kind of like a jump scare. It's like your body sort of instant reaction, like a very quick fight or flight reaction. But anyway, as I'm saying, I was always like intrigued by this idea of, okay, why is it these horror films, it's always like the same sort of tropes. It's like a demon and it's always like there, like trying to, you know what I mean, bro? And it's always, I say always, there's obviously different ones, but you can sort of categorize them. There's the sort of typical demon child thing that's possessed, and really it's like the most evil demon you can conceive. It's the devil himself. Then it's like a creepy girl with like long hair over her face and maybe one eye, and the eye's probably completely white, or it's kind of like that glazed over, you know, like a dead body, yeah. Or it's like, again, some sort of weird looking entity with humanish features, where it's, what is it, that uncanny valley sort of thing, of like it's almost real but it's not real, but whatever. Then it's always, I keep saying always, sorry, let me, as I said, it's sort of different categories. Then there's the sort of tropes of like being in the woods. Is that a jump scare? No, it's the postman. Oh shit, maybe it's just more spam that they're putting through the doors. Anyway, then it's the sort of tropes of being in the woods and there's something in the woods. Maybe it's a creature, maybe it's an entity, maybe it's a witch. Yeah. Then what are the other ones? Yeah, like a witch, like an old lady. I mean, notice how shit, it's always the fucking girls, but that's a joke, yeah, before anyone starts in the comments, yeah. Cool, let me keep it going. Again, demons. It's always, again, sometimes they lean on the sort of biblical thing, which I made the joke, not even the joke, but I had the conversation with my dad. It's something I've said to people in the past, where I say with these horror films, and specifically this Exorcist one, where I'm like, it's kind of funny how in those films it's always like, oh, you know, the power of Christ compels you, and this is how and I said, it's funny, man, because it's like, if I say to myself, not to knock anyone's religion, like I always say, man, believe what you want to believe, but make sure it's something that you truly, you know, in here, but really in here, hold dearly, yeah? And then forget what I'm saying, forget what anyone else is saying, yeah? Do your thing regardless. But I'm saying, brother, if I don't believe in that person's religion, and it's like, your God's here, and then the polar opposite is the devil, if I don't believe in any of it, then how's, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, how can that entity, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, bro, some people try and argue it, and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. And the same way, like I say, bro, we're in a simulated reality, and I've said it in the past, and I'll, like I said, for the potential new eyes, maybe or maybe not, whatever, for this video, let me speak into existence, but yeah, the new views I'm going to get for the channel, because I know I'm going to word the title and the thumbnail that I'm going to somehow find, but I don't know what it is yet, but when I see it, I'll know, I'll go, yep, that's the one, yeah. Thanks for that. As I was saying, lost my train of thought then.